Hi, I'm Mike Thompson, and with me, as always, Mr. Dave Connors. How you doing today?
Good to see you, Mike.
Cool. All right. Well, welcome to our program. We're going to talk about some statistics in the Prescott area, and I think you're going to really enjoy what you're going to hear. You're going to learn a lot, and we're here to answer any questions you have. So if you have questions for us, please contact us through our YouTube page, and you'll be good to go.
Thanks, Mike. So let's start by talking a little bit. Well, let's start with what we're going to cover today. Let's talk about some specific neighborhoods and some specific numbers here in Prescott. Let's also talk about what you do a little bit. Let's start with an introduction. So you've been a licensed realtor for how long?
I've been a licensed real estate agent for over 3 years now.
Okay.
And I started out doing property management. My wife and I own Ram Enterprises. And from there, we've managed over 500 doors and really know the investment market very well. We've seen kind of the trends beforehand. Being in property management, we kind of get the trends to work in our favor as far as pricing goes, and it really follows the home value prices as well.
All right, Mike, thanks. I really appreciate your expertise in the property management end of it. I've been in real estate full-time for 13 years and been with a number of brokerages, and I just really enjoy using video. I like to be really efficient with people. The last thing I ever want to do is waste anybody's time. So to that end, I tend to ask a lot of questions, and I like to preview many, many homes. So let's jump right into what the Prescott market statistics are looking like today.
Okay, that sounds good.
You may not be able to see this, but we'll put it up so you can. What's important here is our months of inventory. You can probably see a declining trend. Going back to March of last year, we had about six and a half months of inventory. So months of inventory, what that means is if we stop putting new listings on the market today, how long is it going to take until we've sold all the homes? And today you can see we're down in the 4-month range, which is a seller's market. It means we have more buyers than we do sellers at certain price ranges. That's why prices are moving up.
Well, that's good to know. I think a lot of people had some uncertainties about what the market was going to do here, and I think we'll be able to show you that information here and be able to tell you what's happening in the market and the trends that are happening.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Prescott Valley, and Chino Valley first, because one of the things I hear on national media when agents and people talk about the real estate market, there is no one real estate market. It's always local. And so we need to be local when we talk about it. So in Prescott, we can see year over year average sales prices rising from just about $220,000 last year to year to date now $248,000. That represents an about 11.3% increase year over year. Prescott Valley, we see an increase of about 12.5%. Prescott Valley today average sales price of about $168,000. And then Chino Valley, interestingly, the least expensive area in our area, the most modest homes price-wise, didn't really see a significant increase in price, less than 1% actually, with an average sales price of just $133,000 this year.
Why do you think that is?
That's a good question. Prescott and Prescott Valley are much popular areas. Chino Valley, just we haven't seen the growth there. I don't know why that is. As a property manager, what do you think?
Well, I know following the rental market there in Chino, it has pretty much stayed stable for the most part. I think with the subdivisions like Bright Star and Appaloosa Meadows, those places tend to rent out a little bit more quicker, and on average are about $900 to $1,200 a month out there for those properties.
All right, good to know. Let's talk real briefly about the different segments of the market. As you probably know, there's 3 different types of sales in real estate. There's retail sales, those are sales with equity. There's short sales, which are often looked at as a pre-foreclosure, and then there's foreclosures, bank-owned sales. Now, about 2 years ago, about 65% of all of our sales were distressed properties. That would be bank-owned and short sales. Well, that's flip-flopped, and today we've got 85% of our sales being equity sales and only 15% being the combined bank-owned and short sales. That signals a much, much healthier market here in the Prescott area.
And just to clarify, a short sale does not mean short on time. It means that you're short on the funds to close. So if you have a deficiency of, say, $30,000 and you have to deal with the bank to negotiate that down so it doesn't go into foreclosure.
Excellent. And the last thing I wanted to talk about when we're talking about pricing is it's really important to know what price point we're discussing. If you take the whole market as an average, we might have, say, 5 months of inventory right now. But if we're looking at a particular price point, let's say we're looking at the $150,000 to $200,000 price point in our market area, you can see on this graphic that we've got about 3.8 months of inventory. So what that says is a very strong seller's market. We have way more buyers than we do sellers at that price point. And so that trend goes all the way from the least expensive homes up to about $350,000. It's going to be slanted towards the sellers to neutral. And then once we reach $350,000, $400,000 and up, it becomes a buyer's market again. You can see these numbers here at the $350,000 to $400,000 range. We've got 12.7 months of inventory. We only had 11 sales last month in that price point. So really important to know what the inventory looks like in the price point you're either buying or selling in.
Yeah, I agree. I think, as you can see, and probably this follows nationally, is that the values of the homes that are selling are the, price between $99,000 and $250,000. Yeah, I think you could probably sell that fairly quickly. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that.
Great.
So one of the questions I'm often asked by clients or people who are just interested in the real estate market here in Prescott is, what about Zillow? Zillow says my home is worth $350,000. Dave, how come you're telling me my home's only worth $300,000? What's up with that?
Well, the issue is that Zillow can't go inside of your house and look at the condition and look at how many bedrooms you have. They can't look at the floor plans, just all the different aspects that happen to be important when it comes to an appraisal, and Zillow doesn't have that option to go in. So the best bet is to contact a professional real estate agent
or an appraiser.
Yeah, and get the correct pricing, because Zillow can either be below market value, it can be above market value. It just kind of jumbles everything in together.
So you're saying Zillow uses kind of a market average to figure out values, and they can't see the specifics in a home. So what about a neighborhood where all the homes are basically the same age, similar size, and similar quality? One of my favorites like that is Granville in Prescott Valley. Is that a neighborhood you think Zillow would be more accurate in?
It would be more accurate, but then again, you still have to take into consideration that does this house have granite countertops? Does this one not? Does this house have tile? Is it carpet? But yeah, for the most part, you're going to get a better consensus because it is, the age of the homes there are fairly similar and the floor plans are very similar. So you're going to get a more accurate Zillow estimate, I believe.
Okay, thanks.
But it's not going to be 100%. You're not going to get it. You're going to have to contact a licensed agent again to make sure that you're priced properly.
Okay. One last thing I wanted to ask you, Mike, is what is your recommendation to somebody who's either thinking of buying or selling and they're not quite sure if now's the right time? What would you tell them?
That's a good question. I would ask them, point blank what their financials are, if they're upside down on the house, if they are wanting to move. I'd find out what their motivation is for moving. Do they need to relocate? But I would look at their financials first and then see if we can hit that number that they need.
If somebody asks you, Mike, what is the real estate market going to be doing in the next 3 to 6 months going forward? What would you think?
I mean, I can't predict what the market's going to do, but the way things are trending, I think we're stabilized a little bit, and I think we're going to continue to slowly grow. I think the values are going to go up slightly. I don't think they're going to be anything crazy like what happened in 2005. I think it's just going to be a very slow, steady incline. And it's probably going to take 13 years or so to get back to those prices that we were expecting back in the 2000s.
Well, if we keep doing what we did in Prescott and Prescott Valley over the last year, it looks like it's going to be a lot less than 13 years. It looks like 2 or 3 to me. In my opinion, the market, the main things that move the market are going to be supply and demand. And right now it's really clear that our supply is not keeping up with our demand, and that's pushing prices up.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the big elephant in the room is the lending industry. What's going to happen with lending and interest rates? And, we'll bring on some guests that specialize in lending, and we can get those questions answered.
Excellent. Yeah, actually, our next week's show, we're going to interview one of our favorite local mortgage banker rather, here, and we'll ask them all those questions about lending, where the market's going, and how that affects us as buyers and sellers. Well, as always, we thank you very much for joining us here in Prescott, Arizona. Please feel free to email or call us. There's a link below this video, and we're happy to answer your questions. I'm Dave Connors.
I'm Mike Thompson.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.